Hey everybody, Mindy from Quilting Mayhem. What's new Wednesday? So I've got two new collections for you guys this week because we've got so much fabric that's just been flooding in with the floods. Oh my gosh. Last week we were feeling a little starved because they couldn't get to us, and this week we are just like bursting at the seams. So I want to show you a new collection called Luscious from Northcott. And this, I love this. So for those of you that like dragonflies, outdoorsy, gardening, anything like that, I think this is perfect. I love this colorway. So what's fun is each of these blocks, or actually they're different. So we have three different colorways. They're not even the same. So like this design in cream is not necessarily the same design over here in the darker teal, and all of that. So you have a large variety of different blocks in this panel. And this panel is 25 by 53 with all these different blocks. And I love them. And if you know me, you know I love dragonflies. And this is very Pacific Northwest with the ferns and those kinds of things. And they also did this really cute pattern called Patio Garden that uses those blocks. So these pots, the potted plants, the plant in that pot is actually part of that panel, which I thought was very creative of them to put together. And then we do have it also as a kit. So you would get the panel, the coordinating fabrics to make this quilt top. The only thing it does not include is the backing, but it does come with the binding, the pattern, and all the fabrics. So this one is called Luscious Patio Garden, and this is the quilt kit. Super cute. Great for any of those outdoorsy, dragonfly fabric lovers. And then I'll show you the collection itself. So we do also have yardage. So here's just kind of your plain leaves and all over with a cream background. And you can find it on our website. So you can go to quiltingmayhem.com, type Luscious, and it will pop up. Here's a more kind of dense leaf print with a darker background. And then some different greens and teals in there. I really love this collection. Then we have kind of a larger scale, a little more open in the spacing. But look at all this detail. Like those ferns and everything are just gorgeous. And then of course you have to have the dragonfly print, right? So there we have dragonflies. And I like this background because it's not a solid background. It's kind of a watercolor type of background, which I think is great. And we have kind of that viney print on the dark background, which is really pretty. This is a smaller collection, which is kind of nice, so you don't feel like you're having to buy a lot of pieces. And then we have just kind of this all over of leaves and dragonflies on the cream in that collection. And then it also comes in a dark background. So once again, kind of that little more open spacing with those leaves and dragonflies in there. And then it has these gorgeous blender pieces. So even if you're not into the collection, you may want some of these blenders because this is just this deep, rich color of the blues and the greens. Or if you're into teals and aquas, these are just gorgeous. Then we have kind of that watercolor brush stroke in the lighter greens, which is really pretty. We have this darker teal blender, just a very mottled texture. And then kind of a true grain almost, is what I would call this. Mr. Kelly Green. So that is that collection and all its pieces. And then of course, Dear Stella. Oh my gosh, I love Dear Stella. So this is kind of your, what I'm calling Pacific Northwest baby. It's so cute. So this panel is 24 by 42, and oh my gosh, wait till you see these critters. You don't get any more Pacific Northwest than this. Look at it. You have your starfish, your coral, your crabs, your whales and seagulls, even squids, seals, you got shrimp. You know, I want to call it a crawdad, but this is very Pacific Northwest, so it has to be shrimp. Turtles, You have your eels and your puffer fish and your other fish, all kinds of critters. Clownfish and a narwhal. Who doesn't love a good narwhal? So there is that panel that is available, and then it has a good array of coordinates. So you could do all kinds. You could do, besides quilts, you could do some bedding, garments. These would make cute clothing because this is a nice small scale. So that's kind of all those critters, the little stingray and all that. There's a seahorse in there. And then there's some of the individual. So if you need some shrimp fabric. So maybe if you're not into babies, but you're into shrimp, come on. Look at these guys. They're so cute. Oh my gosh. I think I squealed when I opened this box. It was just so much fun. We got sharks. Might have to get some shark fabric for my Florida baby. He loves sharks. We got puffins and penguins and seagulls with that kelp in there. Like I said, it's all on the website. If you're not local, you can shop online. Look at the turtles. Oh my God, with the coral. So cute. And just go to Beyond the Sea and you'll find the whole collection. These are like tiny sand dollars and kind of tans and taupes. It is kind of nice that it's small scale. You could even do like backpacks and diaper bags, regular bags. Maybe you just pick out some of the more oceany type prints like the sand dollars. If you're not necessarily wanting a baby type theme. Stars, the little smiling, cute little cheeks. This is on a gray background. Well, this collection's definitely beefier. Then we got kind of all over with your whales and your sharks, your dolphins, turtles, squids, octopi, all kind, you name it. That's on a blue background. We have the squid, these poor fabrics. Squid, kind of multicolor. You got orange and teals on a blue background. And then these fish. This is so cute. And I love, if you've been paying attention to our shop hop for 2026, that all Pacific Northwest is a nautical theme, so everything's very nautical for next year. Look at these seahorses. You have them right side up. Yeah, like moms and dads with little babies. It's super cute. And then there's this border print, so I thought I'd kind of unwrap it for you. So you do get 4 stripe across. Is it upside down? Look at Gage. Upside down. There we go. 4 stripes across. Running yardage. Perfect for outer borders for quilts and things. So that is also available. So we have panels, border prints, companion prints, you name it. You're welcome to come shop and see us in the store if you need help putting together quilt projects with either of these collections. We'd be glad to help you out. Otherwise, hopefully you are following us on our social medias on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, all of them, for all the inspiration, all our posts of what's coming up and what's coming next. And otherwise, I hope you have a lovely day and keep on stitching.